Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC and another edition of Thoughts and Feelings and Updates, TNFNU. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's come up, and then I want to share with you some of the projects that I have going on. So, something that kind of came up, something I wanted to talk to you guys about is the difference between some production stuff and the custom work. So, as you guys know, I do custom fixed blades, and I said custom fixed blades because everything I do is a custom. Everything is a custom. And the difference between some of the production stuff and the custom stuff is this. So, the problem is there's this thin line because there's the production side of things where somebody comes up with a design and they get an OEM to make it, and the companies are, I guess it could go two ways. The company can make it for you, or you pay the company for a certain amount of that product, and then it's up to you to sell it. So they're just making it, shipping it to you, and then if you say you have 400 knives, and then you have to figure out how to sell those 400 knives. So you could do it that way, or you have a design and that company makes that design. They maybe put your maker's mark on it or whatever, but they're doing everything. And they're relying on the sell of numbers to get some money back. And then you have custom makers that are making one-off customs. But then there's someplace in between too, where you have some makers that are making production runs. So they'll get 10 of one of their knives laser cut out, and then they'll get the scales made, and then all that's left is them to take it to the grinder, run the bevels off, do the finishing touches, make a sheath, and then attach the handles to it. Done. And I guess it's just a way to speed up the process to get more of their product into the customer's hands. And then you have the full customs, which is kind of where I land, where I'm cutting the material out, I'm doing the bevels, I'm doing all of those things. Although I've played with the idea of getting some stuff, trying to do small production stuff, the cost has become something that I don't think I can do. So I'm kind of really happy in the world that I am, where I can sell a product to you and say, I did everything on that product. I cut it out, I shaped it, I did everything except for maybe the heat treating of stainless steel. And I'm honest about that. And maybe one day I can do that. And I'm hoping I can start get more equipment in so that I can start be more hands-on with a lot of different things. So it's funny when I talk to people and they talk to customers about potential builds, and they're like, well, I want this finish and that, and I want all these things. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. It's very easy for the production companies to come up with all those different finishes and nice, just a full black finish and getting them coated and doing all these different things. And that's not something that I can really do. I can do a nice satin finish, I can do a tumbled finish, and I can do an acid etch tumbled finish. Those are the three things I can do. And even that could be a little bit of challenging based on some of the things I'm going to talk to you guys about today. But so it's kind of funny, and I have to always tell people, look, these are kind of your choices as far as finish. I can't do a all black blade. I would love to be able to do that, but that's not something I can do, or not something I've been able to accomplish, put it that way. I can get a nice dark etch on some steels, but it's kind of difficult to do that. So when I'm talking about the knives that I am making, I'm very limited to what I could do just based on the equipment that I have available to me and the options that I'm still learning to do. And there's a lot of other knife makers who are doing amazing things. And I'm still learning. And I just learned something today, and I'm going to try it tonight. And we'll see what it looks like in the morning. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that here in a minute. So it's kind of interesting to talk to people. And I love the production side of the things. Don't get me wrong. I love my fixed blades that are production. I love my folders that are all in production. And there's so many different people out there doing so many different cool things with all of it that, you know, I can't keep up anymore, number one. And number two, some of this, what I love is all of the different people within our community that are coming up with their own models. You got Addicted to Blades doing stuff. You got Tempest doing things. You have, who else? You have Stasa came up with a design. Lutz doing a design. Mattisfaction came up with a design. Doom is working on his thing. And it's like everybody's doing their cool thing, and it's awesome. And I love it because, you know, people are creative and then they get to do something. And then even if it's, I created this in CAD and I worked really hard and they sent it out and all of a sudden they get it back in their hand and it's awesome. And because that's the same feeling that I get. I spoke about it last week and having that creativity and being able to do it. But then when you have a design and then you're able to create something from that design and then build it yourself and then hold it in your hand and say, wow, that was from my brainchild, and I made that. And it's a functioning tool. That is so rewarding for someone who's trying to be creative. And it's just, I wish everybody can experience it in some way, shape, or form. I think some of the people that I've helped or that we've designed a knife together and I've helped them come up with their design. And then all of a sudden they get it in their hand and they're just like, oh my gosh, it's even better. That's the same feeling that I get every time I come up with a new idea, even if it's just handle material. I'm going to share something with you right now, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. So it's just like all of these different things in the custom world and then the production world. And there are two separate things, and then there's that little gray area in between. And it's a funny place to be. It's a really fun place to be. But I love my custom world. But it's not that I don't like the other thing. It's just, you know, I don't have a lot of opportunities to share with you guys the production side because the production companies aren't sending me knives. And I don't want this channel to be only known for the fixed blade work that I do. I would like to do some other stuff. So I have something coming that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys. And I'm hoping to get more of that kind of stuff into the channel to share with you guys. But until then, I guess I'll just share with you my work because you guys seem to enjoy catching up and following along with the builds. So, and hopefully I stay busy enough to continue to show you that to you. So let's talk about updates. So the 5 builds are still going. The 4 Yoktos are still available. I don't know how, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Maybe there's something going on, something about them you don't like. But the Yoktos are all still available. They've been getting a lot of views on Instagram, or not on Instagram, but on Etsy. So I'll put the link in the description of this if you want to buy one. Please do. They're amazing knives. And I don't feel like I need to pull them out again. I've shown them many times. If you don't know what a Yokto is, check my other videos. It's the orange box or the orange blades. They're really awesome. They're really unique. And I really like sharing them with you. And it was a really, really good design. And I really wish I get them into more people's hands because I think they're really amazing. Okay, fine. Fine. All right, let's see. What number is this? This is number 1, which is the most popular on Etsy. So I might have to look and see if anybody has this in their cart. But number one seems to be the most viewed yoke dough on Etsy. And these are the yoke doughs. There are 4 of them. 2 of them are acid etched and tumbled. One of them is satin finish, and one of them is just a tumbled finish. But they are a very unique design. Now these were like a small production run because my buddy Tim at Yoke Dough Wallets got these laser cut and sent to me. And then I did the bevels and the final finishings, and he sent the scales because this knife, technically in its design, is supposed to be a skeletonized. But as the Tobiko showed, I can put handles on any kind of anything. So although it was designed to be skeletonized, I have no problem making that into something with a handle. So the yoke doughs are really great. They come with the leather sheath, a Kydex sheath, a case. Please go check those out. I think it's well worth the cost. So I have the yoke doughs. Let me put them back in their box, put those aside. So those are all ready. So now let's talk about the 5 February builds. They are coming along very nicely. I have, well, let's not start there. Let's start this one. So this is the Bloom Harpoon, and it is all taped up and ready for the next step, which is just getting the handles shaped. It's going to have the white G10 with the gray liners and gray pins. So literally the only thing left that I have to do is the handle. So I have to start drilling the holes for this and getting these all shaped up. But it's going to take a lot more time. But that one is ready. So that one is there. Then I have a video coming out about all of these things that I've been working on. So this video always messes up the other video, but I don't, it is what it is. The bloom came out really nice. I got the tumbled finish on it. So that tumbled finish turned out really nice. It's not overly tumbled. It's just a nice tumbled finish. And it's getting a multi-part construction on the handles. So I had to create the scale. So it's rosewood, and then it's blue and gray. So you got blue liner and a gray, and it's just gonna have it on the black liner at the bottom. But that's gonna be fun. So they turned out really good. I had to glue all of this stuff together and create that handle scales. But now I have 2 handle scales for that knife, and it's ready to go. So that turned out really well. Then I have the gargoyle, and the gargoyle was acid etched and stone washed, and it came out really, really good. I'm really happy with the way that this came out. It has a little bit of custom etching on it, and that's getting the ironwood scales on it, and it's gonna look pretty awesome. You can just imagine what those scales looked up nice and polished. Man, that thing is gonna be killer. So if you know who this is going to, he's gonna be very lucky to have that one. Then that brings to the final 2, which are kind of a big question mark for me right now. So I etched them and heat treated them all the same. And I etched these next 2 with that one, and that one came out well, but the rock copper came out a little funky, and you could see some weirdness going on with the etch. And like that side is all kind of weird. So I was talking to somebody about that, and basically he's saying that maybe somehow in the heat treating, you created a hamon where some parts of the blade weren't as hot as others, and you created kind of a hamon for that knife. And I'm like, well, that's weird, because I heat treated them all the same, but he gave me something to try, so I'm going to try that tonight. These guys were all acid etched and tumbled. But I did a little bit of polishing and a little bit on these guys, try to see if I can get that off. So you can see right in here, there's some discoloration up in here, and I don't know what that is, because before I etched them, this thing was hand sanded to 600 grit, and it looked really good. And first time I've experienced that. So he gave me a trick, and I'm going to try it tonight, and we'll see if that turned out. And if you guys are interested in how that turned out, you're going to have to watch the next video that comes out, because I'm going to document what I'm going to do with it. And then the last one is the pedal. And the same thing, I had a little bit of issues with the heat treat, or not with the heat treat, but the etching came out a little funky. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one that I'm going to do with that one. And then we're going to tumble them a little bit longer, and hopefully it'll wash all that out. Now, it doesn't mean that the heat treat was bad. It has a really good heat treat. The file just skates off of it, so I know it's been hardened. And just for a nice EDC blade, it's going to be perfect. So I'm not worried about the quality of the heat treat. I'm just worried about the look. It's just an aesthetic thing for right now. And just so you guys know, just so you guys know, that's going to keep me up all night, because all I'm going to want to do is fix it. And I'm going to work on fixing it. So those were the 5 builds. They're coming along nicely. I got a video coming out, and it's going to talk to you guys about these next couple ones. But I have the Creep, Damascus Creep, came out really good. This is a skeletonized blade. So it's going to look just like this. I just have to do a sheath for it. And this one's pretty much done. So I need to talk to the potential buyer. I have a potential buyer. I need to talk to him to see if he's still interested and wants it. I've just been kind of holding it off because the February builds are my priority. So I'm trying to get all of those done. And tomorrow, as I'm filming this, the day that this video comes out, I'm going to get a lot of work done on these guys. I'm hoping to get them glued up by the end of this weekend. So once those handles are all glued up, then shaping the handle and doing that goes pretty fast. So that brings me to something that, if you've been following the channel, I've been trying to get to. So this is a Damascus pedal, and I have already talked about that this is going to be the 1000 sub giveaway knife. And I am sitting right now, as I'm filming this, at 850 subscribers. So I have 850 subscribers, and it's kind of weird that, and guys, please, ever since the raid, everything's kind of paused. I went up to 1,000. I dropped back down to 840 something. Then I went up to 850, and then everything's just kind of stopped. My views haven't gotten very many. I haven't gotten many views on the videos. Some of you guys have been great. Actually, you guys are all been amazing. But everything's kind of just stopped, and I'm really not sure why. Where I would get like 10 to 15 subscribers a week, it's gone to almost nothing. So it's kind of weird, but I don't know what's going on. YouTube decided they wanted to do something, and that's fine. I'm patient, and I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So that's going to be the 1,000 sub giveaway. And you might be asking, okay, well, what do you got planned for the handles? And on the video coming up very shortly, I kind of share the start of what I'm going to do with these. But let me show you. I just made these scales for that knife. So you have, it's a crushed coral resin. So it's crushed coral mixed with resin. And that's the red. Then you have the little liners, and then you have the black burlap micarta. And I think that color combo is going to be pretty awesome. I've never worked with this stuff before. I picked this up at a gem show of all places. But I have that block of it, and I was a little concerned with how it was to work with, but it actually seems to be really, really good, and it's actually really soft. So I have to be careful because things go really fast. So you can see I was just trying to thin that out and smooth all of this out, and I got the belt on it, and it really moved it really fast. So I'm not worried about that. I'm going to smooth it all out. It'll look amazing, but I'm excited that it's not going to be like stone to work with. And it's a new material and a new opportunity. So think about that knife with that. Yeah, it's going to look pretty hot. I'm just saying, it's going to look pretty hot. So I had that coming, and then of course the package hatchet, I'm going to stone wash that. I'm going to throw that in my tumbler when I do some of these other tumbling tomorrow. I'm going to throw that in there just to see how that looks. You can see where I heat treated it, where I didn't. So I only heat treated the edge because there's no reason to heat treat this. This doesn't need to be heat treated, but that needs to be heat treated. So when you etch it, the part that's heat treated gets dark, and that stays light. So even on these guys, I don't know if you can see right there, I didn't heat treat that. That didn't get hard. But why would that area need to be hard? So I'm more concerned with this edge being nice and hard. So that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, just a thing. So that's kind of what I have going on. I kind of have a lot. The Magna Cut yoke dough. Nobody's talked about the Magna Cut yoke dough. It's at heat treating, and I'm hoping by tomorrow it finishes heat treating and I can get that thing back next week sometime. I would really like to get that back because I want to see how that turned out. I feel like, I don't know what's going on. Heat treating's been taking a lot longer than I thought. So anyway, I got a lot to do, but what I want to do is work on those two tonight. And then first thing in the morning, I'm going to be up and I'm going to be finishing those and getting all of this done. So that's what I have for you this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, leave a comment or not. That choice is yours.